All right, on problem number 7, we are using what they call function notation. That g of x just is kind of a fancy way of saying y. It's that g of x is how you read it. It does not mean g times x. It means that you've got a function with a variable of x. Your input is x. And the g, you can use different letters. It just means that it is a function. So all I do is I'm going to have to take those and plug them in. So g of -2 is 3 times -2, which is going to give me -6. G of 0 is 3 times 0, which is 0. G of 3 is 3 times 3, which is 9. Over here, you do the same thing. H of -2 is going to be -6 minus 3 times -2, which in this case would be -6 plus 6. Remember, a negative times a negative is a positive. That's going to give me 0. H of 0 is -6 minus 3 times 0, which would be -6 minus 0, which is -6. And on our last one, you're going to get -6 minus 9, which is going to give you -15. Rate of change, that's the difference of your y's over the difference of your x's. Sometimes we also say y sub 2 minus y sub 1. That's a difference because you're subtracting over the difference of your x's, x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Rate of change and slope mean the same thing. So my difference of my y's, it looks like I'm going down by 3 each time. The difference of my x's looks like I am going up by 1 each time. So the difference of my y's over the difference of my x's. -3 divided by -3 divided by +1 is just -3. All right, 9, 10, and 11. You're just finding the slope and the y-intercept. So think of y equals mx plus b. So on number 9, your y-intercept is -9. Or I'm sorry, your slope is -9 because that's the number that's in front of the x. Your y-intercept is -4 because that's what's being added at the end. On number 10, I'm going to think of it as a +0 at the end. So my slope is -6 because that's what's in front of my x. My y-intercept is 0 because nothing is being added on at the end. On number 11, that's not in slope-intercept form, so I'm going to put it in slope-intercept form by solving for y. So add 2x to both sides. And when I do that, I'm going to get -2y equals 2x plus 2. Well, we still need to solve for that y, so I'm going to divide by -2. And when I do that, I get y equals -1x, which we're just going to write -x, minus 1. So my slope is -1, and my y-intercept is -1.